Hey guys, welcome to the Frorefront. Today we'll be going over some RPG news, Xbox raises their prices, and GTA 6 Trailer 2 reactions. It released a few days ago. Last night it had 35 million views, the trailer, right? This morning it almost doubled, 65 million views, absolutely jaw-dropping. Also I have two new segments, Thermo Check, where we take two opinions and we'll rate them, and Fireside Pick, stay tuned for that at the very end. I just take my favorite bits from YouTube, social media, whatever, and highlight them at the very end.
RPG fans are feasting.
And we really are. The purpose of this channel is to show opinions between casual and hardcore. We may not have a lot of time to play games, but we do have time to absorb them, whether through podcasts at work, articles on break, what have you. The RPGs that have come out in the past 2 months have been amazing. Where to start? Avowed, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Oblivion Remaster, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Lunar 1 and 2 Remaster, Suikoden 1 and 2 Remaster. Don't forget Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out on PC as well. If you have a busy schedule, how do you choose? What are you most looking forward to play? Let me know in the comments below. Also, check out Kyle Bossman's channel, really. He has dry humor that is calculated, deliberate, and I'll transition out with whatever he's doing here. Click his channel to find out.
Video game trailers.
So in Comic-Con Naples on May the 2nd, Yuji Horii, who's the creator of Dragon Quest, who wrote the story of Chrono Trigger, let slip something. Or did he? It gets a little weird.
The translator pretty much just made it up? Like, I don't know, like, what? Like, Yuji Horii said one thing, and the translator said something else entirely, so the whole audience was thinking that there was going to be a new Chrono Trigger remake, and Yuji Horii never said anything about it at all, which is just, like, wild.
So that's David, over at David Vink RPGs. Please check his channel out. He does amazing work. He goes over weekly RPG news. I won't be hitting RPGs every week, but if you are interested, check out his channel. So you heard that right. A Chrono Trigger remake. Basically, news outlets were gobbling the story up. It really sounded like Yuji Horii, who is well known for letting things slip, slipped up again at that Comic-Con, basically announcing a Chrono Trigger remake. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And I literally just found this out a few days ago when David uploaded this video, because I was just eating up these news stories like, oh, it's happening. All right, let's get low-key hyped. You know, no big expectations. You know, it could be HD 2D remake, could be full 3D. I don't know. I don't care. It's out of sight, out of mind until they officially announce it. Oh, man. Like, this episode, that was going to be the highlight. That was going to be my first thing that I covered. Like, guys, a Chrono Trigger remake, let's go! Nope. Oh man, how unfortunate. So the translator basically just blurted that out. I don't know if that translator's a big fan of Chrono Trigger and he wanted to stir the pot. I don't know. But man, what a letdown. The rest of the stories won't be as much of a letdown. I just wanted to cover that. Just absolutely mind-blowing that Yuji Horii actually literally, apparently, never said that. Who knows, maybe this is also a cover-up. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm sure it was the translators just screwing with this. So over on Jmatsu, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has surpassed 2 million copies sold. That is a lot in a short amount of time. Even just 4 days ago, French President Macron stated 1 million copies sold and to date one of the highest rated games in history. And yes, it's French. Who knew they'd be seeing 1 million more in just 4 days? Can they hit through 1 million within the next week? We'll see. Also, if you haven't already, go check out Skill Up's channel, Friends Per Second Podcast, where they interview Andy Serkis, one of the voice actors for Expedition 33. Truly phenomenal. Might be some minor spoilers in there, so if you haven't gotten past a certain part in the game, or, you know, if you don't care to be spoiled, go check it out. Minor. But anyway, go check it out. Time for Thermo Check. This segment is dedicated to taking a bold or spicy take that goes against the norm and calling it out. Is it truly a hot take? Think spicy, maybe too spicy, making it charred. Or is it actually pretty chill? So over on Reddit, deep in the bowels of a comment thread, oh yeah, we're going deep. Free Development states, they're surprised the game is aggregating over a score of 90, though it has some serious flaws. They state it's, trial and error when it comes to landing the parries and dodges on bosses. But if you master them, you'll win. If you don't, you'll lose. The reason this is a hot take, since the game is critically received, this opinion kind of goes against the norm. So I might be mispronouncing this, but Judoocast pushed back with a more grounded view. Yeah, some fights take trial and error, but that just means you can't steamroll the game on your first try. He sees the reload and smash cycle as part of the learning curve, not a flaw in the design. They go back and forth a bit, but Free Development doubles down, saying, even if I'm hitting hard, success depends more on memorizing animations than adapting strategy on the fly. That's what feels off in a turn-based game. So, what do you think? Is Free Development overreacting? Is this take totally charred? Is he missing the point of the design? Or is this more chill, pointing out that turn-based strategy and real-time reflexes might not blend as well as we think? This one's a tough one, but these are the ones that I like. I don't want to take a take that's obviously too over the top or obviously way too chill. I like a mix. So I've seen a lot of comparisons to Sekiro Heroes Die Twice, mainly for its parry system because it's pretty challenging. I haven't played that game, but I would definitely say Expedition 33 has some pretty challenging timing with the parrying and dodging. Now I'm coming from like a Super Mario RPG fan, and the developers have not credited Mario RPG as far as I can tell, even though it's got a timing-based system for attacks and defense, much like that game. No, this is more of like an adult version of that. There's definitely some critical points you have to dodge or parry, because you can fight enemies that are way over your level. They're meant for you to come back later. If you're just like, I don't know who that is, I'm going to give him a shot, see if I can take him down. And if they're over leveled, well, if you miss one dodge or parry, that's the end of it. You can revive. There's different ways to heal. And as with anything, there's ways to take advantage of the systems in the game if you're overpowered. So back to the point, what's my verdict? I'm going to call this one chilled. Free Development's not bashing the game, just questioning if its challenging systems are at odds with its genre. I don't think it's a bad take, I think it's a thoughtful one.
The red and white tree. I've always found it beautiful.
This has gone from $300 to $380.
This feels familiar.
Yep, you heard right. Xbox is increasing their prices, and not just software, it's also hardware. Guys, I want to be as neutral of a channel as possible, but I'm of two minds on this, and they're not conflicting. One, when Xbox and Sony raised their online prices, I didn't see that much of a pushback. There's some people upset, like, all right, we'll pay it. And two, I'm just really upset about all this. Video games are not requirements of life. They're not the basic essentials. So when the prices keep going up and up and up, and I think many other people like myself, we start cutting. I used to love playing all three major contenders in the console space, but one, what's the point when almost everything's on PC and what's not's on Nintendo? And two, I have to start picking. I have to start choosing. Now that doesn't mean we're all fanboys or fangirls or whatever if we pick one. But what do you think? Leave a comment below. I'll let Young Ye continue what he says in his video, and then I want to switch over to GVG, where John has something to say about it as well.
That is an $80 price increase that makes it priced similarly to a base PlayStation 5 console at $400. And then beyond that, that makes it significantly more expensive than Nintendo Switch consoles. The OLED version is $350, and that's cheaper than the Xbox Series S.
So according to IGN, Series S was $299.99. So an $80 increase. Series X was $499.99. $100 increase. One of the largest changes we've seen ever, really.
And that's just getting started, guys. That the new Xbox Series X, the 2TB version, is going from $600 to $730. Okay? Xbox also announced it's the era of $80 games. So, you can expect the new Call of Duties, Halos, if that's ever coming out again, whatever, $80. And then, as I've highlighted here, the inflation, oh my god. I was going to edit that part out, but I'm just going to leave it in just to show you guys my frustration when anyone mentions inflation. Now, no shade to the article writer here, Kyle Barr. He's just, kind of saying what the publishers are saying, but quickly, major publishers have been gnawing at their teeth for years now how game prices have not increased with inflation. For instance, Halo Combat Evolved retailed for $50 back in 2001, equivalent to $91 in today's dollars when adjusting for inflation. Yes, I'm going to be one of those internet know-it-alls with a master's degree in finance. I don't have that. But just to speculate, right? Let's take that logic. From November 2001 to March 2025, adjusting for inflation, let's say $50 translates to $90, okay? Now let's use a percentage calculator What is the percentage increase from 50 to 90? That's an 80% increase. Everyone following? All right, just a little simple math here. I think what's left out of these conversations is the average income of most families in the United States. So from 2001, we can see the average income was about $83,000, okay? To today, it's about $100,000 per family home. So if we take that, go back to our percentage calculator, let's just see what the difference is, right? From 2001 to 2025, from 83,000 to 100,000, the percentage difference is 20%. Oh. But the percentage difference for games, right, was 80%. Oh, look, minimum wage has not changed since 2009. And that's just a random fact. I'm not saying anyone's been working at the same job making minimum wage for 16 years. But with all that said, again, no shade to the article writer, because he's right. For a fact these publishers have been wanting to increase the prices on these games, and they technically have, right? You see the digital deluxe editions and all these other editions that go over $60. Well, now we're going to start seeing the base game price not even be $70. We're going to start seeing $80. And then you're going to see digital deluxe editions go to $90, $100, $110. We've already seen them, but now we're going to see even more. Or pretty soon that may be our only option. Or pretty soon, as many others have said, base games could go over 100. So all this comes back to the headline of the article. Xbox is no longer interested in using hardware to push exclusive titles. Couldn't have said it better myself. Where are we going with this? And I think the answer is obvious. They're going to increase the price of Game Pass. No, they haven't announced it, but it's coming. And that's what they're really going to push. So over on Twitter X, Bring Back Banjo, also yes, Bring Back Banjo, reports that Gears of War Reloaded is in the works, and it comes out later this year. Comes out on Xbox, PC, all that, and PlayStation 5. That is big, We've seen Forza, now we're seeing Gears of War. When's Halo? When's Halo coming to the PS5? We live in crazy times. But before I move on to the last segment of the show, which is the Grand Theft Auto 6 Trailer 2 reactions, I do want to mention this. In Banjo's tweet, he mentions, Nintendo's charging $10 free-to-play Breath of the Wild in high resolution. One thing I haven't touched on yet, they're also charging for the DLC separately, and that is such a shame. I played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U when it first came out, and it was fun. I didn't really beat it. My wife was way more of a Zelda fan, and she beat it all the way through. When it came out on the Switch, I was going to pass, but there was a hard mode in the DLC, and I was like, you know what, I'll check this out. And man, you talk about engaged. So much so I just deleted a 5-minute rant on how good it is. I will not bore you with that. You're welcome. Anyway, on to the GTA 6 Trailer 2 reactions, and after that, some campfire picks.
Everybody's going to call in sick when this game comes out. May 26th?
Game, like I said before, better be the most insane game of all time, and oh my god, the graphics are already looking crazy.
Oh, this is gonna be insane. Are you kidding? This is gonna be insane.
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up? Those NPCs are realistic looking, man. Oh, the homeless dude. It's definitely Florida.
Get ready for America to not function.
Shut down.
There's no McDonald's, there's no Taco Bell, there's no mall, there's no mail, there's no nothing. Everybody's calling in sick for that day. Hell,
Let's just see the end over here. Maybe there's like a PC thing. It's probably not a PC. Captured on PlayStation 5, bro. That's not even PlayStation 5 Pro. Otherwise, they would actually denote that. That's like base PS5. That's kind of crazy, dude. That's actually really fucking crazy. That's PS5 footage, dude. That's base console. I mean,
I don't even want to see that release day. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Fuck!
Alright guys, the hype is real. Are you looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6? What are you looking forward to the most, online or single player? Let me know your thoughts down below. Moving on to campfire picks. So this is just random stuff I've pulled throughout the week, while at work, whatever, and it's stuff I thought would be good conversation pieces, stuff to talk about. First up, She Says, over on Twitter X, posted his top Mario games, and these are just platformers, none of the party nonsense or anything like that. Super Mario Galaxy gets his top spot as an S rank. What would your S rank be? I'm not going to mention where I would rank Mario Galaxy, that's for sure. I'll just wait till I have more subscribers so I can piss more people off. I thought this is a funny comment. Jeb Leeds asks, She Says, why do all these lists have 3D series so low? She Says responds, uninspired environments, homogeneous art direction, limited control schemes, rigid linear level structure. And yeah, I'll agree with that, but man, Mario 64 just nailed that 3D movement, right? Like Sonic and Crash and all them, they have a style, you know how they control, but dude, Mario, you can do some crazy things with him. And I guess you could do some crazy things in other platformers, but see, to me, Mario 64, like, Donkey Kong 94, okay, I know I'm really going back here. It did to 2D platformers what Mario 64 did to 3D platformers. Now, the difference is there were some 2D platformers before Donkey Kong 94. Mario 64 was one of the first 3D platformers, and they not only nailed it, like they revolutionized what any 3D platformers had come before it, and there weren't that many. It just absolutely transcended what to expect from a 3D platformer. What games did that for you, and in what genres? Be sure to comment below. Lastly, over at the Goose's Gaming Folklore channel, he goes over some comfy places on the Nintendo 64 and the games in them, you know, and I love videos like this. I'm really happy that his video is doing well, because I could have sworn, like, I don't know, I just guessed it was going to get like, 1,000, 2,000 views, whatever, and kind of fade into obscurity, but no, it's doing pretty good.
And, so this is certainly probably not OSHA approved. There's no, staircases or anything. I mean, this corner is pretty sick. What a liminal space that corner is right there. But just this whole building gives you that very grand and accomplished feeling of kind of having a very comfy and cool workplace, because that's what this is. Anytime you can.
I'm trying to think of any comfy places in N64 games. Do you have any in mind? What are yours? Let me know below. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Frorefront. Hope you enjoyed. I'm really getting into this. I think I'm getting a little better on the editing and that kind of thing. Guys, really, if you want your comment highlighted below, let me know. I can talk about it. I love to have like a comment of the week, whatever. Hope you have a great week, guys. We'll see you next week on Wednesday.